Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. And it's been a bit of a rainy one here in the UK. It seems to be over the last 3 or 4 weeks, when everyone's waiting for the weekend because they've been working all week. It's been raining, and I think everyone's had enough of it here. But yeah, just seems to be the way with the weather at the moment. Is totally random and totally the opposite of what it should be at this time of year. And we did have some crazy temperatures a few months ago, and now in the summertime it's unfortunately not very warm at all. Having said that, it does get very warm in this room when I'm live streaming, so I have got the air conditioning unit on, and I have updated my Apollo 13 setup and got out lots of gaffer tape and trying to fill in the holes from the air conditioning unit so that it comes into the room, that I can have it in another room and you don't then hear it over the microphone. So it is a lot better like this because it is quite a loud unit, so having it far away is quite good. But anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room. And who do we have in there today? We have Karen, Corey, Julesy, and Ghislaine, Dieter. What was that, Tammy? Maybe it's going too quickly for me to see. Bob's in there as well. We've got Tammy, Sheila. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me tonight. And yeah, lots of names going through there. Oh, I saw Orlando in the house as well, and I have seen Orlando's donation in there for $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, great idea with that particular donation, saying have you spiked the likes with some thumbs up. So great idea there from Orlando. If you guys can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be fantastic, because we always have a target for the live streams, and tonight's target is 330. So actually, let's get the likeometer up on screen to see where we are so far. 165 just changed over from 164, and that means that we are technically over halfway maybe already. So quite a fast start to the live stream. I'm just trying to work out in my head whether that is just over halfway, and I believe it is. So yeah, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be much appreciated, not only to get ourselves a fill jam at the end of tonight's live stream, but also just for this live stream to get out there a little bit more and for the channel to grow a little bit more on the whole. So we have been doing a lot of growing recently, which is great, but it's great to have these live streams and interact with you guys in the live chat room, see what's going on in your corners of the world, wherever you are tuning in from. I think the majority tend to be over in the USA because of the time zones. Here it is just gone 10 minutes past 11. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because that then brings the clock up on screen, and you can see that it's 10 past 11 here in the UK, so a little bit late in the evening. Most people have gone to bed by this time, but not me. But anyway, a big hello and thank you to the people at the bottom of the screen. They are my patrons, and they make this all possible, the live streams and every single video that I do on the channel. So a big shout out to them, and their names go across the screen during the live streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays, as regular viewers will know. If you want to get involved yourselves over on Patreon, that's where I am every night, just checking messages on there, because you can message me directly if you want to. Here is the link. It's patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So yeah, you can head over there. But let me get rid of that, because having mentioned Orlando's donation, I always say on the live streams that you don't have to donate. Just watching is great, and maybe if I can coerce you or encourage you to hit the thumbs up and leave a comment, introduce yourself, then I'll do that as well, because we'll get to know each other in that live chat room, and I get to recognize your usernames after a while as well. So yeah, we get that community feel going on in the live chat room. And a lot of you do hang out at the Wings of Pegasus supporters group page, and if you guys want to get involved over there, then you can do. If you are a Facebook user, just join that group and join in with the conversation over there. But anyway, yes, back to those donations that you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic. And if you do donate, if you can't resist it, then I think it's important that you know between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. And there's a PayPal link in the description below. If you can't resist it and you want to do things that way, click on the link and that will take you where you need to go, or at least it should do. So I'm pretty confident that it does work. Anyway, for tonight's live stream, we are voting for the cover video, as always happens. It's a bit of, I think it's going to be a close vote for tonight, because these two tend to be quite popular, even though I don't think we've listened to either of these in quite a long time, especially All Right Now by Free. By the way, obviously it's going to be my version of that particular song, but we've got All Right Now, which I can see has 51% of the vote, and we have More Than Words by Extreme. So, and my version of that, obviously, because it's a cover. So we've got, yeah, a couple of heavy hitters for the covers tonight. And yeah, it is going to be a close one. All Right Now, just 52% of the vote. So just have a click at the top of the live chat room for either of those cover videos, whichever one you want to see. So, just to mention that Tortoro Porco has donated $6.99 as well. So thank you for that. There's a message with this that says, what was the Eagles' equivalent of more cowbell? It was more Meisner. So thank you for that. And yes, indeed, it was. And that's taking us back to the last analysis, or the second to last analysis, I think. I do tend to lose track, but I think that we looked at Randy on Wednesday, and yeah, last night was the last video, and that was about, yeah, rapping in the 1940s, I believe, around that kind of time. So yeah, very early on for that kind of thing, but it was more singing and talking at the same time, keeping a pitch, and it's ironic that nowadays a lot of rappers use auto-tune to keep themselves on pitch, but yeah, but back in those days they actually did it and harmonized with each other and hit notes without any technology. But anyway, thank you for that. Tortoro Porco, Stardust Unicorn, has donated $1.99. So thank you for that. Support band to Wings of Pegasus, as I always say, and there's a rainbow as the picture message on that. And Orlando has donated $5. Thank you again. The message is, this has already been mentioned, but may Robbie Robertson of the band rest in peace. Yes, so thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, I heard that sad news before the live stream, and yeah, very sad news. This tends to be the thing. At the moment, we're going through a spell, and I think this happened actually at the beginning of the year, where just people are leaving us for some reason all at once. They just leave us. Over the last kind of few weeks, we've had, I think, either 4 or 5 tribute videos, something like that, and yeah, again, potentially another one coming up. And yeah, it's very sad. I did actually say over on Patreon, because I was talking to somebody over there about the amount of people that have been passing away recently, that yeah, it all gets a little bit depressing when every single video is starting to look at somebody who's passed on. It certainly reminds you of what this life thing is all about, and there is a catch at the end of it. So yes, very sad news there. Thank you, Orlando, for messaging and yeah, leaving that donation, but messaging with that particular sentiment. Yes, rest in peace indeed. So there have been some donations over on PayPal, so thank you guys for those. As you know, I do address every single donation, no matter when it comes in, and we did have one that came in from Rebecca, and this was on Wednesday, and it would have been, let me think, Wednesday at midnight, or just after midnight. It's 12:54 is when it was. So thank you for that. So that's only just Wednesday. So maybe that's straight after the last live stream. But anyway, thank you for this, Rebecca. And it was a donation of £18.77. And we have a message with it that says, amazing playing during that jam tonight. How hard is it to find the patterns in the backing track, and how did you learn to recognise them? Was it something natural, or did you spend hours learning music? Congrats on 311,000 subs. So thank you for that, Rebecca. And yeah, with the backing tracks, I mean, the way that I learned to play the guitar was by listening to the guitar and try to copy whatever I was hearing. And I think learning that way meant that, yeah, later on in life, it puts you in a very good place, or I think an advantageous place, to be able to play along with just what you're hearing and not knowing to need or needing to know the scales or even the key. You can just play as if you're singing along to something, because I think anybody, if you do learn to sing and you can vocalize notes, anybody can sing over anything. And I've mentioned before about when we start singing Happy Birthday, everyone generally starts singing in the same key, but they don't know the key that they're singing in. They're just all copying each other. So it's that kind of approach that if you can sing over a backing, then you shouldn't need to know any scales. You shouldn't need to know any patterns. You just do it. You just play. Obviously, you've got to be technically proficient to be able to play the notes, get them to ring out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, as for when I'm playing over the random backing tracks, I'm actually not even thinking about any chords. And, I just try and follow. And sometimes it's a bad idea anyway to get into that thought of trying to work out the chords, because for all you know, the next time round there might be a different chord in there, so you'll jump into a different key, but it's changed because you haven't heard it before. And it might not even, when you think it's going to come full circle, and then you've kind of got the turnaround into the same chords again, that might not happen because you haven't heard it before. So yeah, I think it's a lot more natural to just play over the top of something and just use your own, I don't know, internal melodies rather than relying on scales and keys and trying to find the right notes and things, because you could get confused. And when it suddenly does change key and you think it's going somewhere else, you'll be in a totally wrong place and you'll be playing notes that are totally irrelevant, and then you've got to try and go back to where you were, especially if there are a lot of key changes. Then yeah, it could really catch you out. So I think it's great practice as well to just play over something that you've never heard before, because it forces you to use your ears rather than being told, right, this is in B minor, and you knowing where B minor is on your guitar and you just going there instantly. Just press play on a backing track. Don't even, sometimes, I mean, unfortunately for the backing tracks that we look at, I have to click on it, and therefore, and sometimes in the title, because I do give reference, obviously I think it's good for people's backing tracks to at least be referenced so that they get that recognition for having made it in the first place. Most of the time they tell you the key in the title, but I would probably rather they just didn't have anything of anything. So it just says backing track, press play, and then just play whatever happens and whatever you think of melodically that you're singing in your head. But yeah, I think it's just a way of learning. I think a lot of people rely on scales and need to know modes, and can't necessarily come up with the modes themselves just by what they're singing. Whereas that's kind of the way that I do it. I do play different modes, but it's not knowingly. It's just kind of playing whatever you're singing. You naturally tend to go to notes that are automatically part of those scales because they work with the chord that you're playing over. But when you're singing melodies, they generally will work over what you're playing over because you're already naturally singing that. So anyway, thank you for that, Rebecca. And yeah, I don't know how hard it is. I think it's just repetition in order to play like that. But it's a totally different approach and mindset to doing it, because if you can play like that, it means that you can just keep on playing endlessly and you don't have to worry about, potentially key changes. You can jam along with a band for an infinite amount of time with an infinite amount of key changes, because you're never going to need to know where they're going because you just do it by hearing it. So anyway, thank you for that. Right, we have, and by the way, if we do hit our likes goal for tonight, we are at 234, 235, second time that I've said it and it's just changed. But if we do hit the target for tonight, then we'll have our Fill Jam, which again is the random backing track. And it's number 32 that we are doing tonight. So whatever that will be. What was the last? I can't remember what the last one was, but I seem to remember it did have quite a lot of key changes in. So anyway, that was number 31, but we are working our way through them literally at a rate of 1 per live stream if we hit the targets which we have been doing recently. So we'll keep an eye on that likeometer. And I mean, this means we're now looking for 91 more people. I should keep on looking at the likeometer and speaking, because it seems to go up by 1 every time I look at it. And there it goes again, 240. So we're looking for 90 more people. But anyway, I'm going to get back into the PayPal window because we had a donation of £20 from Roger. So thank you for that, Roger. And that is just a straight up donation without a message. But yes, thank you for that. And Gail has donated £15.07. So thank you for that, Gail. And the message is, hello from Los Angeles, California. Phil, would you please do an analysis video on the Civil Wars duo? Thank you, Gail Garza. So thank you for that, Gail. And yes, I can add that to my list. And I mean, like I say, you don't have to donate during the live streams, but you don't have to donate to get analysis videos of particular artists or bands. That's not something that I do. I know that other people do that kind of thing. I don't think it's necessarily analysis videos that they do, but yeah, you don't have to donate to get the analysis request on the list. I just put them all on there. The list is very long, but they do get added. Thank you for that, Gail. And Paul has donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is from one of the usual suspects in inverted commas, band name to be added to Guffest. Please spike those likes tonight, all y'all. So thank you for that, Paul. Great idea. So if you can, yeah, hit that thumbs up, that would be great. But thank you, Paul. And Tammy's donated £6 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And that is a straight up donation. Debbie's donated £10. Thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi Phil, you did a great job on the Jubilees analysis video. They had such fabulous harmonies going on. You are the best. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that, Debbie. And yeah, I mean, their harmonies were great. But like I mentioned in the video, the bass was so, I mean so low for a start, and I think from memory it was an F2. It was so low. I remember the exact note that was the lowest, and yeah, and then you had F3, F4, so that span of 2 octaves. I mean, it's great because we're really focusing on the rapping element to it, but when you take in those 2 octaves of harmony vocals as well, it's just yeah, it just sounded great, and you didn't even need the accompaniment really, because the isolated vocal sounded great. Right, but thank you for that, Debbie. And Selena has donated £15. Thank you for that, Selena. And that is a straight up donation. So thank you guys for the donations. As I always say, you don't have to donate. Just while I remember this, if you guys want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, there's a tray underneath this video that you can click on that will take you through to whichever item you've clicked on, and it'll take you through to the spring.com store. There's also a link in the description below of this live stream, but I have been asked this in the comments section underneath some of the analysis videos. If you do go to wingsofpegasus.com/merch, then there's a picture there that says, you know, click here to be taken to the t-shirt store or something. So yeah, I did that. So if you do get totally lost, if you go to the wingsofpegasus.com website, go to the merch page on there, you'll be able to click on the picture, and that will take you through to the spring.com store. But if you can make your way to at least the description of this video, then you should be fine. So thank you for that, Selena. And Deborah has donated £5 and says spike the likes. So great idea there from Deborah and from Paul previously. If you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great. We are aiming for 330 likes tonight to have Phil Jam number 32. And yeah, it just helps this live stream to get out there a little bit more and for the channel to grow on the whole. So yes, we are currently at 258 likes, so we are getting there, and just approaching, I'm checking the time here in the UK, it's 26 minutes past 11, so yeah, approaching 11:30 here. And we have a donation from Connie for £10 as well. Thank you for that, Connie. That literally just came in. And the message is, "Hi Phil, how is your arm? Thanks for the analysis videos last week, Connie B." So yes, my arm, it's a very long tale, a tale of woe. It's getting on to 2 years now. And it's interesting because I went to the physio about 4 weeks ago, was given some exercises, and I think I mentioned on the live stream before, one of those stretches that I was doing actually aggravated my arm more, so then it was worse the next day, and then it was worse the next day after that, so it took quite a long time to recover from the physio stuff that I had been told to do. So anyway, over the last couple of days, yesterday, annoyingly, it was quite bad. And then today is quite bad again. But then earlier I lost patience, because whenever I get to a certain point and moving my arm, and I have this elastic band that I use to do my physio exercises with, but it got to a point, and then I could kind of feel it in the middle of my arm, and it seems to be in the same place. But anyway, I then lost my patience with it a bit and just kept on pushing my arm a bit to try and suss out exactly where the pain was coming from. And once I'd done that, it then felt a little bit better, ironically, after doing that. So it started from being quite sensitive to then not being sensitive, or at least maybe improving by 10 or 20%. So then I decided to do a bicep curl. And this is something that, again, with the elastic band, when I'd done it before, because this was one of the exercises on my physio list that I had to do, and when I get to about halfway down, so actually into extension of my arm gets stuck, or it did get stuck, like I couldn't move past that point, like something was stopping it from happening, which is a bit weird. So anyway, earlier today I kind of got to that point, and I pushed through that point where it felt like it didn't want to go. And what I'm starting to think is that in a bicep curl, actually doing the extension phase of it is actually pushing the nerve, and I don't know which nerve it is, but when I pushed through the point where it felt like I couldn't actually get through that point, I think the nerve is sitting in the wrong place. And when I pushed through that, I felt something move in my arm, and then it was almost instantaneous that I couldn't feel the sensitivity anymore, or like now moving my arm, it pretty much feels like my other arm. So I'm wondering whether for the last however many months it's literally been a nerve that has been stuck in the wrong place, so that when I extend my arm and it kind of is painful inside, something is brushing or pinching the nerve. Because it's definitely started out as a tendon thing, but I'm starting to think that now it might be a nerve thing, and then what I need to keep doing is that bicep extension in order to push it, because that's obviously that, I don't know, the muscle tension, that tension within the joint it seems to have eliminated the stiffness and the pain in my arm. And it was just weird because it was like instantaneous that it happened after that. So I will keep an eye on that, but it's certainly, from, like I said, really quite bad yesterday, quite bad today. I think it might have been the case that it's just bad because the nerve's in probably a worse place than it has been previously, and it just needs to get pushed out of the way wherever it is that it shouldn't be. So anyway, I'll keep an eye on it, but at the moment it feels fine, and it's the most ridiculous change from early when I got up, for it being quite bad, to now not being able to feel it. I'll keep an eye on it and see. But certainly when I was with the physio, it wasn't being approached as a trapped nerve or anything. It was, the physio that I'm doing is for, effectively the tendon, because we thought that that's what the problem was, and that was like 2 years ago now. So I think it might be the case that the tendon's now actually fine and healed, but the nerve, during that injury, whatever was going on, has just been kind of forced into the wrong place, and that's what's been the problem. So I think my first port of call now is, as soon as it starts feeling bad again, I'm going to do that bicep extension and see if I get to a point where it feels like it's kind of pinching something, but then go through that, and then it hopefully will be fine after that. We will see. But anyway, thank you for that, Connie. But at least at the moment, I'm feeling quite positive, because that's something that I've actually done that has improved the situation. Everything else before, like that, the stretches and what I did from what the physio gave me was making it worse. And then I'm thinking maybe the stretch that I was doing, because the nerve was in the wrong place, it was just pushing on the nerve, and it shouldn't have been kind of stretching the nerve when it's in the wrong position, extending your arm beyond kind of where it should go. But yeah, I don't know, it's all a bit of a learning game, as well as, but a very long learning game, as it's been, almost 2 years now. But hopefully there's some light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you for that, Connie. And Karen has donated £3.77. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, I can't remember if I shared this unknown quote. You can't control everything. Your hair was put on your head to remind you of that. I heard you mention about your arm, sending you wishes and healing and recovery. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And yes, I can certainly attest to that with my hair. We have a bit of a side parting thing going on today. So I don't know why that's happened, but thank you for that, Karen. And I know exactly why it's happened, because you can't control your hair. It's something that you just have to deal with wherever it falls. So thank you, Guitar Tim, as well, who has donated $1 in that super chat window, and Marsha has donated $20 as well. Thank you for that, Marsha. And the message is, have you heard that's taking the F from Frankie into the beginning of heard. Have you heard Frankie Valli sing? Now at 89, he's still touring and sounds the same as he did as he was younger. I said it must be a track. My boyfriend said, how do you know? I said, Phil, laugh out loud. So thank you for that, Marsha. And yes, Frankie is a friend of the channel and has contacted me in the past, and in fact invited me down earlier. Was it? No, that's actually at the end of last year to watch him at the Royal Albert Hall, which was great. So, and unfortunately, because of COVID and everything, it meant that I couldn't have a chat with Frankie. But that was great to know that he watches the channel and has seen my analysis video of him as well. So, yes, I think the thing is with Frankie's voice, some people just have this ability to lock into like their reinforced falsetto sound and their falsetto sound. And anybody that does sing, that can sing falsetto, you'll know that it's probably one of the most relaxed ways of singing that you can achieve, because you're just allowing your vocal cords to go into that place, that falsetto place. And it's something that I can't do. I have to put air into my head voice in order to simulate it. But those that can truly sing falsetto have that ability, and it's something that generally stays with you, because what goes is belting and chest voice. This is where you lose your range, at least for the most part. Singers will lose the top end of their chest voice. They might lose a semitone or two, and they might even bring the key of their song down by that amount, so that they can hit the high notes a little bit more easily. But chest voice and head voice, these are different things to falsetto. So falsetto doesn't take as much effort. And the other thing is, having a sensitive microphone, it means that you can hit the notes, and because falsetto is a softer sound anyway, when singers belt, they generally move the microphone away from their mouth, because they're hitting a volume, or they're hitting the note at a greater volume as the rest of their singing, when they're singing quieter passages, when dynamically we're kind of in a lower place, in a quieter place. So yes, to my knowledge, Frankie is still hitting those notes, as I did see him live, and it's great to see him and kind of just be invited down. That was very kind of him. So thank you for that, Marsha. And Guitar Tim's donated again $5, so thank you for that again, Tim. And Orlando has donated $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, we athletes always feel the need to work through pain or tough it out. A bad habit. Either way, may your arm get stronger. So thank you for that, Orlando. And I mean, this is the whole reason that I did my tendon in the first place, was that I thought it was something muscular. And I mean, when I worked out, or when I would usually work out, and I haven't done it since, but I would, and something that my physio said, yeah, don't do that. Don't go back to doing what you were doing when you're working out, because I would do chin-ups and pull-ups, which are like body weight exercises, but they're exercises that I don't think many people do, because it's something that I think you've got to be probably quite light in body weight, or you've got to be very powerful in your upper body. So I was not only doing pull-ups and chin-ups, which is basically you reach up and grab a bar and then pull your weight up. And when you do it with your hands close together, that's like a chin-up. When you do it like this, like a wide grip, then that's like a pull-up. So yeah, it's quite intense. And what I also used to do is, like, that was too easy. So I had a belt with a chain on, and I would attach like 5 kilos and 10 kilos to my waist, so that that's hanging off you. So it means that you're even heavier than you should be. So, because what I wanted to do was get the reps down to about 6, so that I could only do 6 pull-ups, or chin-ups. And because normally I'd do kind of a lot more than that, whereas by doing kind of 6 reps, it means that you're building muscle a lot more quickly, and obviously overloading the muscle. So doing that kind of thing with a damaged tendon, not knowing that it's a damaged tendon, that's where I went a bit wrong. So having done that for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I then started to feel my arm a bit more, and I thought, oh, it's a bit sensitive. So more fool me. I thought, oh, I'll have a couple of weeks off and then I'll be back to training. And like I said, almost 2 years now. But I think hopefully the tendon has recovered, fingers crossed, and it might just be a trapped nerve. And what I'm thinking is, when I used to work out, I mean, I've been working out since the age of like 13. So what I'm thinking is that I've always had muscle mass to my arms. So there's always got to be a particular size of forearm, wrist flexors and bicep and tricep. It's always been a particular size, and since not working out, all of the muscle mass is now gone. So I was thinking, well, does that mean now that the nerve was in its particular place because of the massive muscle around it that meant that it couldn't be anywhere else? Whereas now that that's now disappeared, has it now got more freedom to move all over the place where really it shouldn't? So that's another thing, because I've never stopped training for almost 2 years solid. It's always been just a few weeks at a time where I'll just have a phase away, or between kind of blocks of training, I'd have maybe 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and then get back to training again. So I'm not really losing a huge amount of muscle mass. So that's another theory that I'm having, that maybe going back to doing a bicep curl, my arm's remembering and thinking, oh, I know where the nerve should be, and where these muscles should be contracting and all that kind of stuff. So we will see. But who knows? Thank you for that, Orlando. I think athletes do very much push through the pain, and they always think, oh, no pain, no gain. But there's definitely a difference between tendon induced pain and then what's called lactic acid, which is like, if you just keep on doing bicep curls for as long as you can with a really light weight, you'll start to feel the lactic acid, or feel the burn. That's also what it's referred to as. And the burn is there to tell you that you're now getting to the point where you're effectively damaging your muscle, but that's how it develops. And that's that's why however much burn you can take, generally the more you can take, the more you will recover if you're eating enough protein, all that kind of stuff. But you're never going to put on massive amounts of muscle mass by doing that, because you have to do loads and loads and loads of reps, and it's very much for toning and definition, all that kind of stuff. And unless you're getting help from performance enhancing drugs, you're never going to look like a bodybuilder, because that is something that you have to accept if you are a competitive bodybuilder, or even just guys are taking growth hormone and steroids because they just want to look better on the beach, which for me is a bit of a crazy risk to be taking, because of the potential side effects that aren't fully understood, especially about steroids, and the amount of people who have had heart attacks taking steroids, because the heart is a muscle, and steroids allow you to push your muscles further than their natural limitation. And the heart is a muscle, so it means you're pushing your heart beyond its normal physical limitation. And there's been so many bodybuilders that have then developed heart disease and have died from having heart attacks. So something that I wouldn't risk myself. I don't mind not having a huge amount of muscle mass. I can deal with it. But I think some people, it goes a little bit deeper than that, with the same thing as anorexia. It's just exactly the thing, but exactly the same thing, but opposites. That some people look in the mirror and they see themselves as very skinny, even though they are really big and really muscular, and they have to put on more muscle mass. So yeah, body dysmorphia, I think that is called. And I think that's just the term for however you look in the mirror, that you see something that's not there. So yeah, generally, a lot of guys who take a lot of steroids and keep on pushing and pushing, they have that. Unless they are competitive bodybuilders, and then they are doing it to try and build their bodies and sculpt their bodies into the perfect shape. So anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And I'm just going to go to the PayPal window. Mitchell has donated £3 and 99 well, pennies. I'm so used to saying cents. Actually, £3 and 77. Why am I saying pennies? It's pence. I mean, pennies is what you'd refer to as, probably back in the day. But yeah, pence. I think they use pence as well. But anyway, thank you for this, Mitchell. And I have another donation that's coming from Orlando, and the message for $5 again. The message is: if you missed this comment, chicken fajitas with cheddar cheese, mild salsa and sour cream for dinner tonight. So thank you for that, Orlando. And a few weeks ago, I did buy some salsa dip type stuff for my Doritos, because I do have a soft spot for Doritos. I would say at the moment, but pretty much just all the time. So yeah, I had some Doritos that were unflavored that I hadn't finished off, and they're just, because they're unflavored, they're just very bland. So I got some salsa dip. That was very nice. I got some sour cream as well, and I did try to dip them in that, but then I realised, what I should have got is like cheese and chive, or sour cream, cheese and chive dip, or something like that. I think that's what you're supposed to have, but I got it wrong and got sour cream, which I know is for fajitas, because I have had those in the past. Sometimes my mum likes to make those, so I definitely jump on that bandwagon. Thank you for that, Orlando. Not spicy though. I'm not into spicy stuff. So mine's a very, very mild fajitas, or fajita. Thank you for the $2 donation from Karen as well. And actually it says, hi Phil, here's Chipper's donation. So thank you, Chipper, for that. And it says, cheers, Karen. So right, let's have a quick update on tonight's goal. We are aiming for 330, and we are clocking in with the likeometer at 298 likes so far. So that is great. It's just moved over to 300. So we're looking for 30 more people in that live chat room to hit the thumbs up. If you could do that, would be much appreciated by myself, to not only get the live stream out there a little bit more, for the channel to grow, but for us to have a jam at the end of this live stream. And where are we at time-wise? 44, almost 45 minutes past 11, quarter to midnight here in the UK. So we still have about, half an hour's worth of live stream to go. And that reminds me, let me jump over to Patreon in order to find the message that accompanies. I'm not sure if I'll have to scroll all the way down here to see which number are we at. Number 32. Tonight's Phil Jam is going to be 5 minutes and 40 seconds in length. That's how long the backing track will be. So yeah, we can maybe do some other stuff. We'll maybe have a riff of the week, maybe have a Phil tune. That always tends to get requested over on Patreon. Thank you guys for your requests over there, to then help me know what to play. We started tonight with We Can Fall Down, one of my songs from my album called Persistence. And if you want to get any of my music, you can head over to wingsofpegasus.com /music if you want to go straight to the page. But yeah, you'll be able to see it all over there. Okay, maybe, it's 1:45, and it looks like More Than Words has 52% of the vote so far. I did say it was going to be close because All Right Now was in the lead. So let me just push everybody's attention into that direction for the vote tonight, because it is a close one tonight. If you want to have a listen to More Than Words, my version of that song, make sure you click on that. If you want to hear All Right Now, click on that. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more time to click on whichever song you want to see if... Oh, we have Picture Corner as well. So these things pop into my mind because I always forget to do things during the live stream, but we will have a Picture Corner. So if I forget to do that, remind me about Picture Corner. And Barbara says, Guffest fill tune, please. I'll tell you what we will do. We'll have a fill tune now to leave a little bit of time to just clarify this vote because it is quite close. And then we'll get into the cover video after this particular real life story. So yeah, we'll jump into Guffest and we will see which cover wins by the end of this. But I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you haven't seen this before, it's a real life story, or a fill tune as they're now referred to as, and it's just a real life situation that I've been through in my music career. And yeah, we have I think 5 of these in all, but this is Guffest, which was referenced a little bit earlier I think with their donations. So this is what was being referred to, so I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
Holy gosh, guys, you will not believe what I have just managed to secure.
What are you talking about? Can't you see we're right in the middle of watching Jeremy Kyle?
Well, I have just managed to secure us as the headline act in this year's biggest and only festival in Maidenhead. On Monday evening.
Monday evening? Sounds like a very queer time to have the final big act of the festival. Well, I guess it must be a bank holiday for the crowds to be there.
I think we should not check and just assume that is the case. It would be great to play to a festival crowd. I'm starting to feel nervous already.
Well, I can't believe we are going to be on the main stage. This is so awesome.
Well, it can't hurt to get our music out to a larger audience and to play on a large stage. It will be a great experience for us. Hello there, I wonder if you can help me. My band are due to headline the Guffest and we can't find the venue. Do you know where it is? We stupidly thought we would be able to follow the crowds, but we must be in the totally wrong vicinity. Any ideas?
Oh yes, this is Guffest. Are you Phil Henley?
Heck. Sorry. Yes, I am Phil. I do apologize, but I seem to have missed where it is being held. Where is the crowd and where is the main stage?
The main stage, or stage 1, is located over in that direction. Stages 2 and 3 are in the opposite direction, with the acoustic stage just in front of the toilets.
Okay, great, thanks. So where do we unload to get to the main stage? Is the space on stage to have our equipment ready while the previous band are playing? And also, how far away is the field and stage, as I can't hear the crowds and I assume it must be a long walk from here?
Note, the main stage is behind you. If you look on the floor, there is some gaffer tape on the floor running diagonally across the corner of the room with main stage written on it.
Ha, for a second there I thought you said there wasn't actually a stage and that it was just a floor divided into 2 sections depicted by gaffer tape.
That is exactly what I said.
Oh, I seem to have been misled by the use of the term festival. This is in fact just a room with gaffer tape on the floor in 3 corners of the room depicting stages 1, 2 and 3. It also seems to get to the toilets you have to walk directly through the acoustic stage while the person is performing, not to mention of course the unique aroma that is being generated from behind the stage.
This is the way we set it up every year and it's always worked very well.
How many people do you get on average a year coming to this pub? Sorry, festival.
We tend not to count in numbers as I find them misleading. I hate figures.
Great. Well, I shall take that answer as attendance is minimal. Well, we have 10 friends and family coming down at least, thank ruddy heck.
Do they realize it is £6 to get in on the door?
Holy guff. Are you yanking my crank? How can you justify that entry fee? That means you will be making at least £60 from us alone, and that is before any beverage purchase being taken into account. How much are we getting paid for this gig? Sorry, festival.
We don't pay the bands, not even petrol money, because we are totally out of order.
Well, to be fair, That seems to be common practice these days.
Yes, and also the bands that we book to play are not checked beforehand, so they could be the worst band we've ever heard.
Well, again, at least you are following the common guidelines. So shall we set up now while there is nobody around? Haha. That was a joke.
Okay. Also, we might ask you to turn yourselves down somehow, as some people prefer to watch the television, which we leave on during performances.
Fantastic. Well, do we at least get any free drinks or food? We will be here for 6 hours in total after all.
We will allow you free tap water all evening.
That's absolutely fantastic. For some reason water is something I feel like I need to stay alive, so having it from a tap for free seems like a great offer. Thank you so much.
Think nothing of it.
Oh, I will. Right, I had better get back to the van and tell the guys the good news about the extortionate ticket price, not getting paid, no stage, and no crowd. Thank you for this opportunity and this great festival. Before I leave, I must inform you this has now become the worst day of my life. Bye.
One last thing. While we were talking, I could see your car was getting a parking ticket.
That's brilliant. Bye.
And there we have it, another real life story. I did see in the live chat room people mentioning about, again, gaffer tape, duct tape, and there is a make of tape called duck. So when I said before, because when I say duct tape, I don't say duct tape like that with a T, I just say duct tape. And people said, oh, it's not duck. And I said, no, I am saying it, but it's my English accent. That's how we say duct tape here. So anyway, somebody said, oh, I don't know what gaffer tape is. And I mean, I've got gaffer tape here. And it's basically, well, this says duct tape on it. But there is a make that says duck, D-U-C-K. I think that's where the confusion comes in. But I've got some duct tape here. And I do have lots of this because musicians just use this all the time. But having said that, it's mostly used, for photography and stage productions, and as you can imagine, sticking things together is very important in sticking sets at the back of your theatre production so they don't fall over. It's always a good idea. But so that's it. And I think the difference is something between, it's just the same stuff, I think, gaffer tape as duct tape. But apparently there's a difference in the shininess of the outside. But to me, it's just tape that sticks things together. So when somebody says about gaffer tape, or when I say gaffer tape, that's what I'm referring to it as. So same thing as duct tape. Anyway, just having a look into the live chat room, and Laura says, did you see us asking about yanking a crank? No, I didn't see what that was. Karen says, I can relate to the misery of getting parking tickets. No fun. And yes, no fun indeed. And in London, they do it on a totally different level. To give you an idea, once when I was in my late 20s, I think, I was teaching guitar lots, and I'd managed to save up about £600. And that was pretty good for me, saving up that amount of money, because a guitar might cost £400 or some digital effects might be £600. So I was in the market for maybe being able to buy something that I couldn't before. And then I drove to London. I parked my car for about, 2 minutes, something like that. And I came out and the people were already putting things underneath my car to lift it onto the back of a truck. And there were actually some members of the public actually having a go at these people for lifting my car up onto the truck, because they're saying that he's only been gone, because they were obviously watching me get out of my car. And what I didn't realise is that these people are waiting, and they've got a camera set up to see if anybody stops on that particular road. So if they do stop and get out of the car, And yeah, I just needed to use the bathroom, so there was a pub on the corner. That's why, maybe this is why they set up a camera there, because people might think, oh, they'll just quickly go to that to use the bathroom and then come back out again. So anyway, they have a camera there. So as soon as I got out and went into the pub, they came up behind, and obviously it was a race against time for them. So they got everything they needed, got it out there, and started to attach it to the truck. So anyway, yeah, they did that, which means they take away your car. And they said, oh, you know, the people, the public were saying, there's only like, it's like a guy and his girlfriend were saying, you know, he's back now, because I was literally out within a couple of minutes. And, you know, this isn't even a real life story that I've done. This is just a news story. But yeah, so, and this is actually a different time to the one that I reference in the real life story. This is the problem in London. You've got these, yeah, parking attendants that it's like their mission to try and catch you out. So anyway, my car was still on the ground. It hadn't been lifted up yet. And the people said, why don't you just, you know, let him, you know, go and undo everything that you've just done up? Because it obviously only takes a few seconds to do it. And they said, oh no, once it's attached, we can't release it, which we all know is rubbish. So anyway, they took my car, they drove it away. And of course, now I'm on the street in London thinking, well, where's my car now? So I have to try and figure out in the area which particular company have taken my car, and then I've got to get a taxi to where they're now holding my car, and it was £450 to get my car back. So everything that I'd saved up teaching, yeah, I was left with £150. So I wasn't very happy about that, but this is what they do in London, is they give you, like, they said it was a £40 ticket fine, and then a £410 holding fee, transportation fee, and they just add up loads of things that, you know, don't make any sense. Obviously, it's just things that they can add money to say, oh, that cost us to carry a car a few miles. It cost us £410. I doubt it. I think the petrol might have cost you £5, something like that. So anyway, and even if I'm paying your actual hourly rate, it took you maybe 20 minutes to do it. So whatever that is, it's definitely not £410. So yeah, that's what London's like, unfortunately. And I don't know why parking attendants just have this desire to try and catch people all the time. So yeah, that's potentially a future live story, but it's too depressing to even think about. So anyway, let's get back to organisation, keeping things organised. Right, it's now midnight here, so we are going to be, and yeah, by the way, £450 is about $600, something like that. So yeah, that's a very expensive night out, considering that I didn't spend any money on my night out other than that, because I didn't have any money left, literally emptying my bank account, but for £150. So yeah, very annoying. But that was a while ago, and I've since got over it and just decided, and this is the thing that you learn, that you can't afford to stop your car anywhere in London. You just gotta, you know, I don't know, maybe make sure that you have been to the bathroom before you leave, so that you get to your destination and find a parking space before any of that, yeah, needs to be taken care of. So anyway, back to tonight's live stream, because we have 52% of the vote for More Than Words. We will jump into that, then we'll get into Picture Corner, and we have hit the target for tonight, 357 likes we are at the moment. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. You can keep on doing that if you're watching this on catch up in the future. Every single thumbs up still helps, so you can do that even if you're still watching it live now at midnight here in the UK. You can keep on hitting that thumbs up. It is massively appreciated. But let's jump into my version of More Than Words by Extreme, and I'll catch you guys after this for Picture Corner and the Jam. So I'll see you then. Rock. Hi guys, this is my first proper video of 2017, and it's my cover of More Than Words by Extreme, and I hope you like it. Rock. want you not to say, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you feel. More than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you. Love, more than words, now that I've tried to talk to you and make you understand, all you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hands and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you. And there we have it. That was my version of More Than Words by Extreme. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for it as tonight's cover video. Right, we're going to be jumping into Picture Corner and then we will be having the Phil Jam. So let's jump into it, get the elevator music going and navigate to where I need to go in order to get these pictures. So first of all, we're going to be starting with Bailey, who has uploaded this picture actually through Instagram. I usually get linked to them through Facebook, but thank you for sending this my way. And as you can see, Bailey says, "Ruddy heck, I need a guffing drink." So yeah, getting her hands on the Phil Toon mugs or mug. And if you guys want to get your hands on a mug or mugs, then you can click on the tray underneath this video. There's a link in the description below. Yeah, and you can get hoodies, t-shirts, caps, all the things that I was mentioning earlier about the merch. You can do that. Click on the link in the description below. So thank you, Bailey, for uploading that one. And we have Anna here, who is modelling her Phil Toon mug as well, with some guy on the mug, or should I say at least a cartoon version of some guy. So thank you, Anna, for uploading that one as well. So it's just a Phil Toon mug picture corner tonight, just a couple of pictures, but thank you for uploading those, and thank you to Laura for linking me to them in the first place. And if you guys have any merchandise that you want to upload or model, you can get involved over on Facebook on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page. You can upload it there, and then Laura will link me to it, and then I can upload it to my software, and yeah, we can get it going on the live streams on a Saturday and a Tuesday night, and that's 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. As always, I'll always be live streaming at that time. Right, now we are going to be jumping into the Phil Jam for tonight, number 32, and 375 likes so far. So, thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. You can keep on doing that if you want to. Don't let me stop you hitting the thumbs up. It really does help everything to get out there a little bit more. So let's grab the guitar and make sure that we are plugged in and everything and organized. Actually, I'm going to remember, I think probably for the first time ever, to adjust my seat before I even start playing. So there we go. It's the first time I've remembered to do that. Now we're going over to number 32. So let's get into Joe's list. And by the way, there are 43 on this particular list that Joe's put together. So 32, we're making our way through them steadily. Right, let me click on that. Then there's going to be an advert. We'll mute that. And I'm just going to let it play through. Right, I'll tell you what, let me mention where this is coming from. It is Go Jihan 530 Music. I'm going to have to spell this out so that you guys can get to this backing track if you want to find it. It's Go, as in capital G, then O, then a dash, Jihan, that's Jihan, dash, 530, and there's like a 5 semicolon, is that 30 space, then music with a capital M. But if you want to search for this particular video, it's going to be Blue Bossa Latin Jazz Bossa Latin Jazz backing track key equals C minor BPM 165. For you tempo fanatics, as I always say. But let's okay, right, can we just having a look on my levels to see if that's coming through. I think it is. Let me know about levels, if you can even hear me anymore. Okay, we've had a key change already. Okay, we're back. We did actually have an ending there. And yeah, there we have it. That was an interesting one, and yeah, again, not a style of music that I have ever played over before, just a little bit random. I mean, the good thing about that was the C minor. Yeah. You know, you always had that as your bass to go back to, so yeah. That was all. I mean, that was, I think I lucked out a bit on that, in that what I played to begin with kind of fitted, so then I kind of knew where I was going in terms of trying to find the melodies that I was thinking of, at least trying to sing in my head. The other thing was, with that, I mean, it's always different when you're listening to it through the computer to then, you know, having it coming out my speakers and playing guitar, is sometimes or at least I can't hear the chords, or at least the variation of chord that might be in the background. So sometimes I'm playing things that I'm thinking it might just be, you know, for example, a minor chord, or it might be like a minor seventh chord, or it might have some kind of difference or note in there that I'm not quite picking up because I can't hear it clearly enough. But I think that was okay. It might have been a nightmare. So who knows? This is always the risk we take when we do these fill jams. But thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring the fill jam for tonight. We are going to be calling things to a close now. David has donated $1.49. So thank you for that, David. And I can't see exactly what it is. It maybe looks like, I'm going to say, it's got S on it, so like a salt thing. So thank you for that, David. And there has been another donation in the PayPal window from Ghislaine, and this is for £16.79. So thank you for that. And the message is, for the love I feel, fulfill, or fulfill. So thank you for that. Right, Orlando has donated $2 again, and the message is, thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, do you keep that guitar in E standard tuning? So yes, this is E. Yeah, so this is in E, and yeah, pretty much everything that, I mean, whatever I jam over the top of is still just going to be in standard tuning. So, I mean, even if the backing track's not in standard tuning, it doesn't really matter. We just kind of jam it out and see what happens. So, thank you for the donations, everyone. Even though I say you don't have to donate, obviously it is massively appreciated and does make a huge difference. And Timothy, I'm going to call Timothy Tim, has donated £30.14. So thank you for that. A very kind donation over on PayPal. And the message is a tip. So yeah, thank you for that. Like just a little tip jar, or maybe a hat when you're kind of jamming out and putting a little bit of change in that, but it's more than a little bit of change. Thank you for that, Tim. We are going to be calling it to a close now, so thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I'm going to be here with another analysis video tomorrow night, and live streaming again on Tuesday night, as always, 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So if you aren't available then, I will see you guys then. And have a fantastic rest of your weekend. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!